What's up, everybody? Today we're doing the recap. Smith versus Rakic. This was a great fight night, and my picks went pretty well. So let's check it out. First fight of the night, we had Mallory Martin versus Hannah Cifers. Started off with a bang. Cifers hurt Martin, dropped her, tried to finish the fight in the first round, and I think she just gassed herself. Spent way too much energy. In the second round, Martin took her down and ended up getting a submission in the second round. Again, Cypher is showing that she has nothing on the ground. Once she got there, she really didn't do anything, and Mallory Martin just had her way with her. Moving on, Polyana Viana, Emily Whitmire. This was just complete dominance by Viana. She just came in there, took her down, got a submission in 2 minutes in the first round. So great job by her. I had Martin winning by decision and Viana winning by submission. After that, we had Sean Brady versus Christian Aguilera. This was another great fight. Aguilera was coming up pretty aggressive, pushing the action, but Brady was fighting really smart, mixing up his strikes really well with the takedowns. After round one, he ended up getting takedown and caught Aguilera in a guillotine and submitted him. In that fight, I had Brady by decision. After that, Alex Caceres versus Austin Springer. Another quick submission. Both guys were fighting. Alex Caceres hopped on his back and ended up sinking a choke in. So, quick work by him. I had him winning a decision, but he finished early. Great job by Alex Caceres. He was very dominant in that fight. He never looked like he was in trouble. So great job by him. Moving on, the Chirico versus Zach Cummings. This might have been the craziest fight on the prelims. The Chirico, I thought he won the first round pretty decisively. Cummings won the second round. And going into the third round, it was very even, right up to the last second when Cummings landed a big head kick and dropped Chirico. And Chirico, after the bell rang, stood up, stumbling around the cage. I really think Cummings stole the fight with that last second kick. It was really awesome to watch that fight. I had Cummings by decision in that fight, so that's what ended up happening. After that, Maki Pitolo versus Impact Kasanganay. Kasanganay keeping his undefeated record by beating Maki Pitolo. I thought Maki Pitolo would be more prepared for this fight. Kasanganay did exactly what I expected him to do. Basically jab, shuffle in, throw the overhand right, and try to get takedowns. Pitolo defended the takedowns very well, but he kept dropping his left hand every time he backed out, and Kasanganay kept hitting him with the overhand rights over and over again. Maki never put that hand up, and it just cost him the fight. Kasanganay racked up all those points, and the judges gave him the decision. Great job by him. I had Maki Pitolo by KO in that fight. So first one that I got wrong that night. After that, starting off the main card, we had Ricardo Lamas versus Bill Algeo. This was a great fight. It ended up being fight of the night. Very close fight in the first round and second round. Hard-fought battle back and forth. I feel like Algeo took the first round. Ricardo Lamas got the second round. And then in the third round, Lamas got an early takedown and never gave up his top control and just dominated the entire time. He got a 10-8 in the last round, and he ended up taking the fight by decision. I had Lamas by KO in that fight. After that, we had Ji-Yeon Kim versus Alexa Grasso. In this fight, we saw Grasso really show off her boxing skills. Kim was being aggressive, pushing her up against the cage, but Grasso was circling really well and playing the outside game. She kept hitting Kim over and over again for all 3 rounds and ended up winning a decision win. I had Alexa Grasso by KO in that fight. After that, we had the co-main event, Robbie Lawler versus Neil Magny. This one went more or less how I was expecting it to go. The only thing is I actually didn't expect Magny to wrestle as much as he did, but it was a really smart game plan. We know Robbie Lawler struggles a lot against that type of style. He was able to avoid Robbie Lawler's shots and never really looked in trouble at all in that fight. He dominated all 3 rounds, and Lawler really couldn't do anything against it. Pretty surprised that Lawler hasn't found a counter for that strategy yet. He's lost 3 of his last 4, I believe, by that pressure wrestling. So hopefully he can bounce back from that. He's in a little bit of a rough spot right now in his career. Then in the main event, we had Anthony Smith versus Alexander Rakic. This fight, Rakic just completely obliterated Smith. Starting out the first round by hitting him with a bunch of leg kicks. Smith never checked them. He hurt his leg really bad and he couldn't really walk on it the rest of the fight. I really expected Smith to be way more active. He just didn't do anything. He was just standing there and eating shots, going on the ground, eating more shots, barely surviving, making it to the next round, but never posed a threat, never did anything. And this really isn't the Smith we're used to seeing. He took that pretty bad beating by Teixeira. I hope mentally he can bounce back from these losses. I'm a big fan of Smith when he fights the way he used to fight, when he fought against Hua, or even when he fought against Jones. But recently we haven't been seeing the best out of him. Rakic just beat him up and ended up getting the decision win. It's a great job by Rakic. We'll see what else he can do. He's moving up. Hopefully he'll fight Dominic Reyes for a title, and I think that would be a fantastic fight. In the main event, I had Anthony Smith by decision. Overall, with the picks I made, I ended up 8 out of 10, so pretty good. Counting up the wins, if you would have bet $100 on each person I picked, you would have ended up with a profit of $229.64. And with that, we had Martin at minus 310, Viana at plus 120, Brady at minus 420, Cummings at minus 105, Lamas at minus 300, Grosso at minus 300, Magny at minus 240, and Caceres at minus 200. Can't wait for the upcoming fight this Saturday, and I'll see you there.